Morning, YouTube. How's it going, guys? So, I wanted to talk a little bit about potbelly pigs this morning. And as you guys know, oh, that's Ribby in the background saying hi. As you guys know, I'm a pig nut. I love my pig. She's my best buddy. She means the world to me. And I think they can make really good pets. And there's a ton of them out there that need homes. Rescues are overflowing. Definitely, I say adopt, don't shop if you guys are interested in a pig. But I just wanted to go over a couple of the things that I think people need to know about pigs so that they can make an informed decision whether a pig would be a good addition to their lifestyle or not. I definitely want to start by debunking the myth that micro pigs exist. Teacup pigs, nano pigs, all of that stuff is total BS. Do not buy into that hype. Pigs get big. Mini pigs do exist, but a typical mini pig is like 75 to 150 pounds. So they get pretty big. Small compared to, a farm hog, but still pretty big. The small ones don't exist. They grow until they're 5. So what happens at a lot of breeders is these unscrupulous breeders, aka greeters, will take a baby runt and breed it to another baby runt, which they can start breeding at 3 months of age, and show buyers like, hey, look how small these guys are. This is mom and dad. They're never going to get bigger than this. All these people go out and buy one of these pigs then and think, what a perfect pet to have in an apartment. The pigs get big. The owners weren't prepared for their size, but a lot of other things that come with it, their attitude, their behavior, their vetting needs, all of that stuff, and they just get overwhelmed, frustrated, and they end up dumping pigs at, rescues, humane societies, shelters, all that stuff. And it's tragic. So I'm hoping if I can educate you guys a little bit, that will put some of this information out there, and then people can make a better informed decision, because I genuinely think that when you get a pet, it's for life. And if there's a reason you can't keep that pet anymore, it has to be something really severe, in my opinion. Somebody died, you died. But even in that case, I really think it's really important to put your pets in your family trusts, wills, all that kind of stuff. They need to be named. Who's taking care of them? Who's paying for them? All that kind of stuff. So anyway, I just think let's go over a couple of these things. Vetting can be very difficult for pigs. So before getting a pig, look around, see what vets in your areas treat pigs, see how much experience they have with pigs. A lot of farm vets don't have that much experience, and a lot of bad things have happened. They try to sedate pigs. Sedation is hard on pigs. The wrong kind of sedation for a pig can be a death sentence for them, for lack of a better way of saying that. So really look, do you have a university hospital within driving distance? Even if it's like 3 or 4 hours away, a place you can go in a crisis that has all the diagnostic imaging you're ever going to need, the know-how, all that stuff. Luckily, I'm within a decent distance to UC Davis in California. They're great. I've heard Cornell's great. University of Georgia, I think it's called. You guys have to look around. I'm not familiar with what's going on in the rest of the United States with that stuff, but be prepared. Spaying and neutering is really critical. They're super prone to all kinds of reproductive cancers, and the older and bigger they get, the harder it is to spay them safely. So get on top of that stuff, you guys. I think that's all it's really critical. Pigs can do poorly on stairs. I've seen some pigs that do okay when they're younger on them, but again, it's really hard on their joints. If you have a lot of stairs, that could be a no-go. That would definitely be a no-go for my pig. We have little areas like to the backyard where there's 3 stairs. I've built ramps. Just know you're going to have to build ramps. Do it. Put good grippy rubber matting on top of the ramps. Know that if you live in a cold, icy, snowy climate, you're going to have to shovel those ramps and make sure they're not icy so they don't slip down them, that kind of thing. Definitely build a fence. This is one of my biggest pet peeves. So many people go out, get a pig, Hope they can potty train it to inside, which could be useful in some kind of an emergency if your pig had to use a litter box. Overall, I thought they were stinky, messy, gross. It was potty trained to outside for us, and that worked really well. But just know they have to have a place to go outside. This is a livestock animal. Same kind of thinking. Don't get a border collie, live in an apartment, and go to work all day and leave your border collie at home and expect it to thrive. It's just not going to happen. They need to feel the sun on their back. They can be crazy rooters. My girl is not. I have a beautiful lawn, and she doesn't mess with that. A lot of pigs will just dig up whatever they can, so you have to be prepared for that. Do they have an area that you can let them do what they need to do for enrichment, for their enjoyment, all that kind of stuff? But building a safe fence is a big deal. Pigs are prey, so the things I see online are just tragic. Neighborhood dogs going after them. Unfortunately, the dogs always win. They typically rip off the pig's ears. A lot of times the pigs can't even be saved, and the trauma they've gone through for this is terrible. Same even if you have dogs and pigs, in the same house. My dog and pig are buddies, but I don't leave them unsupervised together because it's too risky and it's a major no-no. So be careful of that. But just know your pig needs a safe area outside so that coyotes can't get it, bears, you name it, but spend the money on a fence. It's really not that expensive, guys. I've found that T-posts and no-climb horse fencing, I really like the stuff from Lowe's, are pretty cost effective. You're looking at, I don't know, $400 or $500 depending on the area you need to fence. If your pig is a rooter, you do need to dig a trench, set the fence down. My pig is not a rooter. I have cameras out in her pen so that I can supervise her when I'm not home. She has a huge 5-foot tall pig house, dog house, whatever you want to call it. A lot of people don't like heat lamps. I do use heat lamps, but they are secured by zip ties in like 5 or 6 places for redundancy. You never want a heat lamp to fall because they're going to cause a fire, and you always want to make sure they're super high away from any kind of bedding, the pig, that kind of thing, to prevent the fire hazard. So that's why mine are up. You also want to make sure your pig can never chew on the cord. That can be a problem too. So she's just got a little place that, if she's in a mood, if I'm not going to be home for 3 or 4 hours, whatever, she can go outside. She's as safe as she can be from predators, lots of grass to munch on, a place to get out of the weather, all that good stuff. But definitely build your pigs a fence, you guys. It's a must. They're super smart. I think they're like 3rd or 4th ranking intelligence out of all species. So that's amazing. They can learn tricks. We got to give a shout out to Merlin the pig. Merlin the pig is smoking us on tricks. So to his mom, you are doing such a good job. He's adorable. I love the button idea. Unfortunately, I think my pig trained me. So you guys have done a really good job training Merlin. And by the way, I love the Love Island skit. Those are so cute. So definitely you guys should check out Merlin the pig too. I love him. If you haven't seen that channel, go find Merlin. But yeah, I think it's good to make sure your pig is crate trained for emergency purposes. If you've got to evacuate, you want to be able to get your pig in a crate fast, put it in the car. Usually that's going to take 2 people. So I think having a backup plan of having your pig ramp trained is also really important, because that way if you're alone, get your pig up the ramp. I trained my pig to a ramp by putting it on my bed in my bedroom, and she likes to snuggle enough that she wanted to go up and down the ramp, no problem. So that was really good. But yeah, these are just awesome things to think about, you guys. I think pigs are so special. They can be such a great addition to your family. They're really clean. Some like to roll in the mud. Mine don't. But I mean, overall, they're a really clean critter. And there's so many great ones out there. The rescues are overflowing. Go check it out if you want one. Just make sure that you live in an area where you're zoned for pigs, you're ready to spend the money to accommodate a pig for a long time. You know, don't do this on a whim. They're going to get big. They're going to need medical attention, you know, all that stuff. Just plan it out. Don't do this to these critters, you guys. I hope you guys are loving watching Ribby as much as I love sharing her with you guys. So let me know what you think about all this stuff. If there's things you want to see, specifically with Ribby, if there's questions you have, anything like that. If you want to know of some cool rescues and you're thinking about adopting a pig, I know of quite a few throughout the US I could refer you guys to. So like, subscribe, and leave a comment. You guys have a good day. Thanks. Bye.